I'm a huge boxing fan. I love the sport. First fight I ever saw was a taped fight of Muhammad Ali fighting Cleveland Williams. I remember my father crying when Muhammad Ali had to fight George Foreman. I remember George Foreman knocking Joe Frazier up the backside of his head, knocking him down about 6, 7 different times before the fight was stopped. Howard Cosell, the late, great Howard Cosell, screaming, "It is over! It is over! It is over!" I remember that. George Foreman, not Mike Tyson, was the most menacing boxer in history, so much so that there were people scared to death in Ali's camp. And my father, who was the biggest Muhammad Ali fan I've ever known, literally crying because he was so scared that Ali was going to die. That's how far back I go with boxing. One of my favorite fighters of all time is most of you young whippersnappers never heard of, Salvador Sanchez. That was a bad brother. I remember when Pepino Cuevas was considered some elite welterweight and Tommy Hearns put him to sleep in 2 rounds. I remember when Tommy the Hitman Hearns knocked Roberto Duran out so viciously, his head did a 180 before he fell on his face. I remember when Angelo Dundee was screaming in Sugar Ray Leonard's face, "You're losing it, baby, you're losing it," because Hearns was using that jab, and detaching his retina and beating him before Sugar Ray Leonard went berserk and went after Tommy the Hitman Hearns before he finished him in the 14th round. This is when boxing went 15 rounds instead of 12. We talk about Marvin Hagler and Mustafa Hamshaw and I mean John the Beast Mugabe and Terry Norris knocking Mugabe out and Hagler knocking out Mugabe and all of the fights in between. Alexis Arguello versus Aaron Pryor. I mean, this is me you talking to here. It ain't just basketball, baby. I love me some boxing. Which is why I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. Now, Floyd Mayweather had an exhibition boxing match. And in this boxing match, Floyd Money Mayweather decides, who's he fighting? What's the name of that guy? John Gotti III. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos broke out. And I'm not talking about legit, bona fide boxing, pure boxing chaos. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that's just embarrassing. Look at this here, please.
That's it.
Floyd Money Mayweather retired from boxing 50-0. That individual that he was fighting right there is the grandson of the late infamous mobster John Gotti. I am not aware of John Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match, all right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody. He's not doing it. You haven't earned that privilege. It's a privilege to be in the company of greatness, in their venue, in their habitat, in their specialized, home, per se. Floyd Money Mayweather should not be letting just anybody in the ring with him. That's my only point. He's phenomenal, and he's great, and he's unblemished in his career. And when you see Floyd Mayweather, when you see him in an exhibition against these no-names, it's like, really? They shouldn't even be allowed to be in a ring with you. That's just me. That's where my disappointment lies.